Hello everyone, this is the second episode of the Wingman Show. I'm Mark and this is...
Scotty boy!
So yeah, this is the second episode, and what's the response been to the first episode?
Well, to be honest with you, the first episode has knocked me bandy, really. The response to bad. It's just been nothing but positive, really. No dislikes on the internet. Views increasing every single day.
People at work liking it. We've been promoting it all at work, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, we're trying the best we can online. We'll try and put a bit of posters next time around the staff room at work. Good work in there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, scare everyone off, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, we're really impressed with the response. So we thought we'd film the September issue straight away. And
Get it out of the way, you know. We've already got 75...
75 views as we're recording now, so it could have gone up.
Could have gone down.
Can't go down. But yeah, it could be. It's increasing all the time. And obviously, on Sunday we get the report to see where it's been viewed around the world, and hopefully, if you hit America and we get no dislikes, we've made it.
Yes.
So, how do you think the first show went, Mike? Were you impressed with it? You enjoy it?
Well, it went pretty quick, didn't it, when we were actually doing it? But when we look back, it was like 45 minutes. So I think it was a bit longer than we expected it to be.
That's the only thing we really had any criticism of. It wasn't a negativity. It's just so maybe trim a little bit of the laughter out that's not needed.
And there was a lot of that last week, so we've got to just like calm it down a bit, and we'll just cut it out at all.
But if that's the only comment we're going to get, negative so far on the first show, we're only going to get better. So, and we also had requests already for a Christmas special, where Mark and I will be dressing up as elves. And
I said that he could dress as an elf and I'd just wear a Christmas hat, to be honest, but you know, there's 3 months to go, so...
That's Sparky Chris, so we'll get rid of a hat.
Well, I'll be wearing a hat, won't I?
coming out, isn't it? So Mark, tell us what's on today's show, the first part of the show.
Well, the first part of the show, as always, is the newspaper round. And then,
you're a paper boy, ain't you? Bloody hell.
And then we're going into paralytic posse, haven't we?
Yeah, it's the news section. Obviously, Tricky Pete's now gone to Pastors New.
Yeah.
We don't know when he's going to come back, do we? So we've got a new replacement in. It's called Pisshead Posse's Paralytic Past. Darren Posner tells us all about his jungle experience. And actually, Chelsea Fitch came out with that name.
Ooh.
The old Fitchmaster.
Herself, yeah.
So as what do I call it? The quadruple P. Posse's Paralytic Past. With Pisshead at the beginning. Whatever. Let's go to the newspaper game. Well, the first part of the show is the newspaper section. It's where you get what's that wiggle all about, son?
Just so a bit of a breeze.
We get a newspaper from the past month, whether it be the Mirror, Telegraph, whatever. But this week it's the Sun, and we take it in turns to pick a random page number, and then whatever's at the top of that page we discuss and try to find an answer to the news topic. So whatever's at the top of that page we discuss about. Obviously, Mark, you went first last week, so if you want to pass the newspaper, I'll choose a page number at random.
Oh.
How many page numbers are there before we start?
64.
64 Zoo Lane. Ever seen that show?
No, I think it was one of your special programmes.
It is a really good show, actually. Anyway.
It's about Zoo, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's number 64. Well, we're going off at a tangent as we always do, but that's why I love the Wingman Show, don't you? Bloody hell, no dislikes on the internet so far. Can't go wrong. We're on cloud 9, aren't we? Soaring up through the skies.
Be up there soon.
There's no turbulence as of yet. So the page number I'm going for this week is number 27.
Nearly there, I was 25.
Bloody hell. Great minds think alike. So Mark, tell me what's on 27.
Wow. It's an advert.
Not always easy.
The 100-day schoolwear satisfaction guarantee.
Show it to the camera.
Only at george.com and Asda.
So, it's an advert for schoolwear. 2 young girls. Permanently pleated skirts for £3.50.
What do you think of this news?
Well, to be honest with you, it's quite a shit advert to try and talk about when I'm a 22-year-old bloke. I'm not really interested in schoolwear at the minute, to be honest with you. And obviously working for a resale company myself, which I think we've got the best schoolwear deals in the country, I really can't say much of it. Obviously, £3.50 for a skirt at Asda, you can't really go wrong.
George.
But obviously I've got to be quite partial, because obviously where I work at the minute.
You've got to be partial.
Partial in my opinion, I can't really give a full...
Impartial.
Impartial, sorry.
Oh, I'm partial to an opinion. You know what I mean?
On your own essay. So Mark, what do you think of that advert? Must we both get a view on each page?
I've lost it now.
The pleated skirt from George.
No. It's very well. It's a good deal. Good deal.
So you mums out there, you little daughters,
Go to George.
or little boys, if they want to wear dresses or skirts. Saying the bloody George who has that. Great deal, just £3.50. What's that? Maybe not your kid's pocket money these days, is it? £10 a week? When I was young, I used to get nothing.
Who?
Me, pocket money.
Now he gets 20 quid.
Scanning Mark. Son.
I'll go for number 11.
11, not page 3. I thought you might have gone for the girls on page 3.
Normally do, but different day, different time.
Page 11 is Richard Bacon's is Richard Bacon's column. Page 11. I think you picked a really terrible one here, Sam. Loads of small print, ain't reading all that, eh? Keep that.
Read me a story.
Next door is I Smell a Deal by Samsung Galaxy tablet. But you missed out on that.
Oh.
So it's page 11. We're going for the first line, aren't we?
No, it's got to be a headline.
The headline.
First headline.
Area of outstanding beauty now in ruins. It's all about Cheryl Cole's tattooed arse. She's got a rose garden. So at the front she's got a rose garden. But behind, as you can see there, she's in an area of outstanding beauty is now ruins. So they're basically saying, Richard Bacon's saying, Cheryl Cole's beauty is now in ruins due to this tattoo.
She's got a tattoo on her arse.
There it is there.
Oh, bloody hell.
I thought it's the first time you've seen it, yeah?
Yes. What has she done? Just looks like she's got a pair of red cheeks, doesn't it, really?
Not me. So what's your thought on Richard Bacon's view there on that her arse is now ruined by this? I'm sure her arse gets
I'm sure everyone's wondering what my opinion is on Cheryl Cole's arse.
They are too.
Turn around and tell them.
So what's your view, son? I can't carry it in this house. So what's your thought then? So basically I think her arse is ruined. I'm sure Ashley Cole ruined it a couple of times.
Well, it is ruined because, you know, who's going to look at a tattoo on her arse? You know, tattoos are to show off, aren't they?
Yeah, so...
So, you know, she had a tattoo on her leg, you could see it. But there's a tattoo on her arse now, you know. When she goes in a bikini, she's going to look really strange, isn't she, with that all on
her boyfriend called her flower, though. She has now got a flower all over her bum.
All over her arse, yes. So, I think it's ruined her arse. What do you think?
Well, it depends what you like, and if you're a tattoo freak, a tattoo lover, shall I say, you'd enjoy it, wouldn't you? Obviously, a new boyfriend.
Especially if you like us.
A new boyfriend will enjoy it when he dresses her. I hope she's proud of that. I don't really, because rose bushes are quite prickly. Don't cut your fingers down there, do you?
Right. Don't know what you might find.
Oh my. So
For
sex.
thorns. A couple of thorns in your bushel.
Could do. That's never good.
Nah. Get me around, wouldn't you? So that was the paper round. The next part of the
Pardon me.
the next part is Pisshead Posy. Tell us about him. He's your friend, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Darren Posnack is a 40-year-old Southend fan. We've got a theme of Southend fans, haven't we? Obviously got myself
Yeah.
and Luke Carter last week. And Darren Posnack, the coach to Chesterfield last week, said to me, "What is this Wingman Show about? Is it worth sitting there for 48 minutes and watching it?"
Yeah.
I said, "Of course it is. It's got me in it, and obviously Mark as well." He said, "The only reason he'd ever watch it is if he appeared on it." So obviously, Tricky Pete was on his way out when they...
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
time,
It was
mate.
his last ride last week, wasn't it? Last ride to Southend.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back to the turn of the year, but the Christmas period, we know at the minute, doesn't seem like he's going to be delivering to us, does he?
No.
So
he
we
said,
thought- Grab Posy in. So Pisshead Posy's Paralytic Past is a new section.
Yeah.
He sits there, he gives 2 stories a week, 2 drunken stories. And
Oh, they were questions, aren't they? You said that they were questions.
Yeah,
You asked him 2 questions.
Yeah, we
and
messaged him, giving some hints of what to say. He wasn't quite sure how to start it off. So I said I'll give him a couple of questions each week to ask him. So we asked him one question, which is coming up in a minute to answer,
Yeah.
about his first drunken experience, isn't it?
Yes.
And then later in the
yes.
show, there's another one which we'll tell you about later.
And they're both very exciting stories, I can tell you.
Enthusiastic stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He was more enthusiastic than I thought he'd
And,
be.
and we
about it.
thought, in tribute to Darren, I called him Darren Jägermeister Posnack, and we've got a bottle right there. So for this little section, bottle of Jaeger's sitting nice and comfy in between the wingmen.
In commemoration of him, because he's not here with us. He's there.
He's in that bottle, isn't he?
Yeah. Juggling about.
So we're going to open the bottle lid
Oh, yes.
and roll that footage.
Hello, and welcome to the first instalment of Pisshead Posy's Paralytic Past, or something like that. So, anyway, basically, this is where I will be answering your questions using humorous stories from the past. So, anyway, on to the first question. First drunken experience. Now, I'm not sure when the first time I ever got drunk would have been. I guess that would have been in the park next to my school, where a group of us often used to drink cans of Tennant Super. I actually always thought I was a complete lightweight at 15 because I used to get completely off my face after a couple of cans. But then I realised that many years later that Tennant Super is actually only drunk by alkies anyway. And even now, 1 can will probably get me off my face anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the first time I ever got a hangover, and that I do remember, because I never used to get hangovers very often. You know, not in my younger days, you know, often I'd still be completely pissed in the morning, but I'd never get a hangover. But there was this one time when I was 17, I was going through a bit of a vodka phase. And I remember going to this party just up the road from where I lived in Bournemouth. No idea what the party was. It was probably someone's 18th or something like that. I have no idea whose. But I bought a couple of those like half bottles of vodka you can get. And I just remember drinking 1.5 bottles of those neat within about half an hour of arriving. And I don't remember too much more, to be honest. I'm sure I did have a few other drinks during the course of the night, and I later on outside there was some bird who was desperately in love with me, obviously, and I remember getting off with her and then getting off with her best mate as well. I'm not sure if that was before or after I emptied my guts into the car park, but either way, that's about all I remember really. I'm pretty sure that I would have emptied my guts again when I got home. It was around this time that my mum started leaving a basin in my bedroom every time I went out, because she was fed up of getting up in the middle of the night to clean up the bathroom floor. And so that's about it, I think. I do remember, however, I did have a bit of a lucky escape, because, as I said, this was the first time I ever had a hangover. In fact, I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm quite surprised I survived the night. Unfortunately, the following day I did actually have a driving test. As luck would have it, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, masses of snow during the night, and it was called off. So there we go, all's well that ends well.
Welcome back. What story? What did you think?
Well, I've heard many stories from Darren's before, but never heard his first drunken experience, so that's incited me quite a bit. Tenant super, 15 years old in the school park.
You didn't know at the time that he'd get that pissed on that many. Nowadays, just one.
Just one.
The mighty one, yes.
The Mighty Quinn's our theme tune going. Yes, Darren, we put Darren back in his bottle later on in the show. You want to appear later on? So, have a Pringle one.
Mun.
Good old mun.
Yeah, man. We'll go down.
Right, so the next section of the show is the singing scenarios. Failed last week. Mark won the first one, 4-3.
He was too busy laughing.
I was trying to go for a double whammy with Tom Jones, Sex Film and Green Glass at Home. I just couldn't quite nail it, so disappointed with that. So yeah, this is a singing scenario. Well, this section is called Singing Scenarios, where we take 3 singers normally in it and put them in a random location. But this week we changed it slightly. And we picked, who we picked this week, Mark? Tell them.
The Beatles.
A lot of classics from the early rock and roll days to the Sgt. Pepper stuff and their own single stuff we're allowed to use. So basically now up to 5 minutes on the clock. We can use as many of their song titles or characters from their songs to make the sense. So you've got the Beatles and they're at a fairground. Nice summer's day. You've got George there, you've got Ringo, you've got Paul and you've got John.
Yeah.
The big 4 they call them, the Fab 4.
Fabulous.
So I'll have a swig of beer. Swiggy JD from Mark there.
And Coke, it's not neat, you know.
I did have a neat one earlier, it set me on fire. So if you chose Jerry Lewis, it'd be great balls of fire there. I certainly felt it in my mouth then.
Great balls of fire.
I mean, the flame. Right, the stopwatch. 2 minutes 49 from last week's show still. He's ready to go now. Off you go, Mark, you set the story.
So, they're all lining up to get into the fun fair, or whatever they're going to. And John says to everyone, imagine all the people.
They're going to be at the fair.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot in there. They're queuing up, and they're all rushing about. John was badgering Paul to go, he kept going around his house saying, well, it's only on one night a week. And Ringo said, boys, shut up. It's on 8 days a week.
Oh, well, and then, So George got his guitar out, and his guitar gently weeps as they waited in line.
So they're finally through the barrier.
Yeah.
Obviously George's guitar's weeping.
So it had to be away.
It's on 8 days a week. And imagine all the people that are there.
Yeah.
And John was right, there was a hell of a lot of people there.
Was there?
But George put his guitar down as he got through, he wasn't allowed the rides of it. He left it at reception, the fairground.
Started crying instead of weeping.
Yeah. And there's this stall at the far right hand side. It says tickets. So you have to pay an entrance fee, but when you go on some of the rides, you need a ticket to ride it.
Obviously, everyone except from Ringo wanted to go on the roller coaster because he saw a yellow submarine. Keep going, sir.
The games, and also after the first ride, I was sitting there, and they had no dinner before they went out.
Right.
So it's the same stage as last week. They go over to the hot dog stand. There's chips on sale. Candy bars.
All on the same stall.
There's a big stall.
Oh yes.
And
Looked after me.
there's no flavours.
There's a what?
There's no flavour in the chips. And then Paul said, "Why don't you chuck on some Sergeant chuck on some Sergeant Pepper." Sergeant Pepper, get it from Lady Art Club.
But as it's such a big stall, Ringo wanted something a bit more exotic, a bit more unique for his food. He wanted a walrus. Cuckoo. Alright.
So they've had their hot dog, some with their Sergeant Pepper and some with the walrus. And they're walking over to this thing, they see some girls I know from the school. I knew these girls. And this one girl really fancied Ringo Starr, you know. Thought he was the bee's knees, thought he was the best thing out there. And she's getting loads of presents, so I'll buy you a ride for this, that. He said, "Fuck off, love." you can't buy me love.
So
3 minutes 30, by the way.
So this girl went off with George. Her name was Eleanor Rigby, I believe. Just, while Ringo was playing on his yellow submarine.
So they all walked off, yeah.
So from Ringo was on his yellow submarine.
Oh, I'm stuck here. See, when I watch this battle, and I think there's loads of songs out there I could have chosen.
But then
Oh, it's gone.
he said to Eleanor Rigby, "You've got to let it be. You've got to let it be. You know." He dumped you. He's off. You know. He's gone. I don't even know the story anymore. It's gone.
And then Paul McCartney, so Let It Be. Paul McCartney,
So let it be.
yeah, he did in the song, obviously.
Yeah.
And he just told who had the breakup of Eleanor Rigby?
Oh, who was it? Was it Paul?
Anyway, Paul.
No, it was Paul saying to Paul. No, it'd be George or so, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he went up to George and said, "Just live and let die." 15 seconds, who's gonna get in there?
Oh shit. Then Paul said, "Well, this ain't one of your silly love songs."
Who's got me again?
Wings.
And then George turned around and said, "I've got my mind set on you." We got 5 minutes exactly. I think that's much improvement than last week.
We'll have to watch that back later.
So that is singing scenarios. We're not
The
sure who won.
Beatles.
That is a pretty close one. Last week it was pretty outright who won. So we have to review in October's show. We had a long nervous wait for both of us, but
Nail biting. To the hardcore.
biting nails gone.
So we're now going to do a bit we call Funny People We Have Seen. So, Scott, who have you seen this week?
Well, actually, you know, last week on the way to the studio, weren't we? We saw the that person on the bus.
Yeah.
How's it go again?
I
I wonder if he sleeps like that at night. If you're
God,
on that
his elves go to
person,
sleep, wouldn't they?
if you're on that person, please get in touch. You want to get you on his bloody seat here. We want to interview you.
Get an extra view as well. So get on it.
So the people we've seen this week, well, funny enough, I was on the way to the studio and we were at this bus stop, weren't we, this morning?
Oh yeah.
This afternoon, sorry. Queuing up for the bus, there's this bloke walking around in cargo shorts. Who the fuck wears that? So anyway, that was funny enough. Little did I, he had a funny face and he had his shirt off as well, with funny little grey hairs in his chest. There was this woman, what happened? Right, tell her. We've got no footage of this, but we have to take Mark's word for it. Oh.
Well, I was asking Scott what kind of bus ticket I should get to get around here, kind of thing, you know, because, you know, I only come down here once a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't really care. So, what happened was, I said, have I got to get her over? And Scott said, yeah. And then she went past and was like,
Does it go again?
What?
Does it go again? Don't know why, she's in her right and I think she walked off.
I think she liked Scott, to be honest. She seemed
don't take it on me. She might want, yeah.
Yeah, well.
She might have seen the show and recognised us, that's what it is.
But she was too shy to ask for an autograph, so she just made a funny face at us. It's what happens, you know, when they go shy.
Pretty sure we didn't ask for an autograph, we had no pens on us, so...
Yeah, well, I had one in my bag, so I could have...
You could have done one.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, that's the knocks of life, isn't it, you know?
Yeah, that's the joys of being a star. Being recognised at the bus stop in South-Infant-Sea.
By nutcases.
Yeah, we'll keep that in, because I think this one was. Also this week we've seen is, I went down to a family thing, you know, on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them, been in there for about 5 years. The uncles together, the granddads, the cousins, what have you. It was a nice day, we had a nice barbecue. Really well cooked as well it was. And my granddad just almost started telling jokes randomly.
Yeah.
But he started saying the time about this girl called Isabel in the cinema when he was about 19. He went to the cinema with this girl from work, I think it was. And this is the story that I involved, so I might just roll the footage.
Between me and her husband.
Yeah. And you went ding dong.
And I'm sitting there watching the old film, and all of a sudden I felt her hand come over. And she grabbed my hand, to hold hands.
Your guy that's your old
Bloody husband's sitting next to
Yeah.
her. I'm here, she's here, and her husband's
Well,
sitting
perhaps you thought you were the husband. What was his name? His name was Richard. So she said, "You all right, Dick?"
there. How do you like a bit of dick? What's he laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Who's recording all this?
Is that me? Is that a picture?
So Mark, put that into words. That 19-year-old bloke going to the cinema with a workmate, and her husband's sitting next to her, and she starts trying to touch your cock. Well, because he likes to do it, but...
No, that was Richard Dick, wasn't it? Or was that...
Her husband's name was Richard. Then obviously she reached out for Dick. So what would you do if you were in that position? With her husband just cut 2 seats away.
I don't even know what he did.
The story cut out, didn't tell anyone on that. But also...
he just kind of went...
This is his message
to
all you girls out there.
What's that arrive on this?
So this is my uncle telling about how he used to give, or how my granddad used to give girls a crossbar.
You used to take her for a ride on his bike, the crossbar. The thing is, it was a lady's bike. And give her a crossbar that way.
So what I got from that was that it was just a bike. A lady's bike.
There seems to be some confusion about that video clip. Because I was told it was sexual slang for something, the crossbar. But in fact, he used to drive this girl. He used to think every girl he likes or whatever. He used to take this girl out on his bike, and it turned out to be, what did it turn out to be, Mark?
A lady's bike.
A lady's bike. So that's the joke of it. He tried to impress a girl by driving around on a lady's push bike. Wouldn't go down well these days with it.
No, not really, no. Probably get a couple of laughs, you know.
like we're getting right this minute at this show.
Yeah.
And Mark, I was in the supermarket in Basel the other day.
Oh, right.
This is the last funny thing I saw that week. Tell them, what did I say?
You saw a kid just like staring at some TVs, didn't you? It was like
Yeah, well, look at the picture now. As you can see, this little fat kid in Basildon, wearing really poor clothes, baggy black t-shirt and black shorts, scuffy trainers, sitting there, cross-legged, in front of loads of TVs in Basildon, Astor.
As you
He
do.
was there for 20 odd minutes, Mark. This goes to show people in Basildon
Like TV.
very much. They love their TVs, but in fact they love Astor TVs and public TVs. I think he was lost as well. I think his mum was shopping somewhere. She went just as his fat lazy didn't walk around the whole store.
So he sat down and watched
She just
TV.
prompted him with his fat arse in front of the TV.
Jeremy Kyle, you know.
Funny enough, I think Jeremy Kyle was on there actually.
Hey, there you go.
So that's it. People in Basildon
And Jeremy Kyle.
goes together hand in hand. We probably lost a load of viewers there from Basildon, but who cares? We're the Wingmen.
So, this is the second part of Pisshead Posy.
Oh, hold up. We can't go any further without the man himself. So let's bring him
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
back. There he is, centre stage.
So, what's the question you asked him this time? What's the debate? What is he going to be talking about?
Well, this section, this part of Pisshead Posy's paralytic past. Well, mouthfuls. Try to say that with your piss posy.
We'll try that next time. That'll be one of the questions.
Well, basically, we're on the Chesterfield coach again, and it come out about public shitting again.
Again.
He talked about it quite a bit, so I thought, what better chance than the man himself to answer that question in front of the viewers. So the question is, when was the last time you publicly shat yourself? Posy, just take it away.
Oh, you got him. I'm leading.
There he is, he's out. Just let him fly, Mark.
Yeah, that's it.
On to the second question. When was the last time you shat yourself in public? Now, I think I need to clarify something first of all. I'm not some like senile old person with whose bowels have long since packed up. You know, I don't just go around shitting myself in public. I mean, obviously, yeah, there have been a number of times in my life when I've been forced to shit in the street, but you know, that's completely different. And in fact, in my 40 years on this earth, there's only actually been 3 occasions that I can remember when I have actually been forced to shit in the street. Now, the last one of those, in fact the last 2 in fact, were both in 2007. Although I did have a bit of a near miss last week, but that's beside the point. So yeah, 2007. The last time, I think that was after I've been out clubbing down Reflex in Southend with Martin Cramner, and yeah, I don't recall anything particularly interesting happening during the course of the night. That was one of the less eventful trips to Reflex. But anyway, I digress. At the end of the evening, we got a cab back to Kent Elms, which was about halfway between where both of us lived. And so I decided to walk home from there. It's only a mile. But luckily, I decided to just go up the way that took me up a long alleyway. So I didn't have to actually walk through the street. Not the whole way. And as I was walking, I was gradually starting to think, I really need a shit. Now, you know, I've been in that position many times before, haven't we all? But as I started to walk up the road, it started to get more and more urgent. So anyway, I was walking up the pathway alongside Scott's Park in Eastwood, and at the end of the road, there's just like a little path which leads up to the main road, Western Approaches, with Morrison's car park just to the right. And basically, as I got to the top of the road, well, the top of that path, just about to join the main road, and I suddenly came to the conclusion that, well, basically, I was going to shit myself whether I liked it or not. So I had two choices, either shit my pants or do it in the street. So obviously I was going to do it in the street. I'm not some sicko. So, basically I pulled down my pants and empties the contents of my bowels at the top of the road. And, well, that's about it really. There's not a lot more I can say about that. Luckily on that occasion, it was only my bowels that I decided to empty. The previous time, I did end up leaving a trail of various body fluids along the road, but that's for a different time anyway. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the first instalment of Poz's Paralytic whatever. See you next time.
Well, so Mark, that was a very graphic and interesting story. What are your views on that?
Well, you know,
Put them away for another month anyway before we continue. We'll lock up all these stories in there, don't we?
like a little treasure. Well, you know, I suppose if you've got to go, you've got to go, but I wouldn't do it in public, so what's your view? I mean, he's not shy, is he?
He certainly isn't a shy character, you know, he's very flamboyant.
He likes Oasis, he sings a lot of Oasis.
And I'm sure that'll be appearing pretty soon in Shanghai. He's got plenty of footage of him singing Oasis songs.
Mainly the same song, but, you know,
He still sings the floor, doesn't he?
It's a great song. Especially when he had the band there. Like
Yeah,
the guitarist.
He had his own private gig for about 45 minutes probably. He murdered every single song, but he was enjoying himself and everybody else enjoyed it too.
Well, yeah, everyone filmed it.
Well, 6 people did.
Yeah.
Well, considering only 12 people were left at that time of night, half the people filming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, if you got to go, as I said, you got to go, haven't you?
But I still wouldn't do it public, I would just...
The thing is,
Just keep it in,
he had a
will
choice now. If he shat himself, he'd be walking around with his great big tail flopping about in his boxers.
Or crawling down his leg.
If he had shorts on, he might have trickled down his leg and dropped it
He
into the
could've-
drain.
yeah, he could've
flicked it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Freddie Eastman.
Oh.
But yeah, he is an interesting character, and I hope you enjoy reading it. But we'll put him away again now for another month. Another 2 tales coming in the October edition. And who else are we trying to get guest star in the October edition now?
Barney. We've got a little old Barney coming in for a little chat.
The little legend herself.
Yeah.
The BHS legend. Was it 44 Christmas now? She's there.
Yeah.
She'll be in the studio answering your questions, so get them to us. And if you don't bloody send them, we've got to make them up, haven't we?
Yeah.
But anyway, she'll be in this hot seat.
After we've thrown the newspaper on the floor, obviously.
Yeah, and the Wingman mobile's gone.
There it goes.
She'll be here in the middle of us two. These imbeciles.
Wingman sandwich.
It's a toasty sandwich.
Huh?
Toasty sandwich.
Oh, yes.
Full of meat and texture. And a bit of flavouring. So yeah, she'll be in the studio next month. Oh, this is the brand new section of the show where the Wingman mobile gets airing. It's a crafty bit of kit mark in it.
Oh, yeah, it gets in all the nooks and crannies, doesn't it?
You have to put a bit of WD-40 in it to squeak out the squeakiness. Bit of a mouthful there, but basically it gets everywhere you want to go. You get, if it's fully charged and it's got memory on the old space.
And if you see him walking around looking like he's texting or whatever, he's nice.
I'm going to get a picture of you,
Yes.
as that fat kid has to found out.
Ha.
But basically, this is a new bit called Celebrity Lookalikes. And we show one a month, and the first one we go for is this, back in January I think it was. I got the old mobile out.
Yeah.
And take a look at his character. Tell me who you think it could be. viewers, who do you think that picture was? First of all, I want to show Mark the picture in the studio. He's going to guess who you think it could be. This is his first look at it, mind you. Who do you think it is, Mark?
Could it be Mrs. Brown?
It is. As we see now, we're going to go to a picture now of the two of them together. I mean, that's pretty... Right, the final part of the show this week, I'm afraid, is we've got no celebrities we've seen on the poster this month.
Because obviously, I walk down the seafront, I don't see any posters, and Scott,
Well, I've really been focused. I've been focusing on getting the job done and getting to the studio. I've not taken any of the surroundings in at all. So that's why I've not seen
Sure, we've gone past some L'Oreal or something, but we haven't been watching.
We haven't been, have we?
Nah.
So we're going to end on the Wingman Bible. Obviously, it's what me and what Mark and I created actually in the office. Mark put 3/4 of the phrases in, didn't you?
Yeah.
But it's now become a holy grail to all the Wingman followers, or the Wingerites.
Wingerites, yes.
Or Wingers.
I don't know what that was. What?
Oh yeah. Normally for West Side, but this is Wingman side. So basically, we spoiled you in the first episode, really. We gave you 4, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to give you 2 a month now. So we're not going to do that little Charlie bit. We're opening up the Wingman Bible, full of interesting stuff. And the first one I'm going to pick this week at random is pure UK gold, the purest of all golds.
Just means it's
define it.
It just means it's a classic situation, doesn't it? It's like if you say a good joke, you do a good, like a funny thing. It's like UK gold.
It's pure, but it's raw as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And UK, because we're based in the UK.
Yeah.
If we're in America, it would be pure US gold.
Yeah, but we're not.
So we're in England, so
yeah.
it's pure UK. That's the reason behind that. Oh. Sorry, Scott, I didn't get that. That's old Siri on the mobile phone. And the last one. I'm in a bit of a Branston.
That means you're in a bit of a pickle, doesn't it?
How predictable. Play on words at its finest there. We've had Elton John last week, Branston pickle this week. So we're in a bit of a mess. I'll give you an example when me and Mark have been in a mess before. When was it? About a year ago, year and a half ago? Somebody turned up late for work, I can't remember who it was, maybe doing tills of them. And tills got to be counted on the shop floor by 9 o'clock.
Yes.
And Bernard's, I was quite new in there, Mark had never been in there before.
Yeah, that's it.
It got about 25 past 8. It normally takes 50 minutes on a good day.
Yeah.
We're now, when we know what we're doing. We had 25 to 30 minutes to get out of that office and get the tills on the shop floor.
Yeah.
What's that noise? The old,
that was in Mission Impossible, wasn't it?
We thought it was, but obviously the wingmen always get the job done. But yeah, we're relative virgins to the cash office.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Bloody whores now.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Goes out.
Yeah, so that's when we were in a bit of a pickle, really. Mark didn't know what he was doing, he just dragged in, called in. I was pretty new in there. We had 25 to 30 minutes to get on the shop floor. That's when we were in a bit of a Branston, a bit of a pickle. But we come together.
Get done.
Formed the wingman sandwich, as we called it earlier. We were talking about Barney. Obviously, the pickle was in the middle, and we were the 2 bits of bread to slam in and make.
Does that mean Barney's the pickle?
It could well be.
Well,
Picky little characters, that. Isn't she?
yeah.
So, Mark, before she comes on the show,
what?
How are you and Barney at this moment in time?
Oh, we as Christmas has started, we've started to have little arguments, the little niggly things, and then all the way up to Christmas, about December time, we'll just start shouting at each other across the whole of the stockroom. So
I'll put in the picture, everybody. We're hopefully we haven't fallen out too quickly because we've got to get on the show next month.
We just won't talk to each other and turn around.
But the thing is, all year round, yeah, fair enough, she's set in her old ways, stuff like that. They get on right, don't you?
Yeah, we have a
Share
laugh and
joke.
joke during the year.
Have a cookie behind the desk.
Have a cookie behind the desk.
She has the food there ready for us and a drink.
Some Mentos, normal
As
stuff.
Christmas come round, she gets pissed off because nobody clears the bins or whatever. Take a little while, don't they?
Yeah.
Fair enough, we all know, because we're waiting for the company to give us the format layout. We all know what we're doing, but she's panics, isn't she?
Yeah.
Same with the bin situation. And obviously, the older you get, the more stress you get come Christmas. You're going to snap out, and unfortunately, she snaps at you, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But deep down, I'm sure there's a little love there.
Rest of the year, yeah. Christmas.
But the 3-4 months over Christmas. But you're relieved when 25th of December comes, aren't you?
Yeah, I've always got a smile on my face, knowing that. Get back to normal. Get back to the same old banter.
But then the 30th, when you're back in work or whatever, is all that Christmas rubbish. You can go fucking ape shit.
Yeah, it throws you up in the air.
So yeah, so we hope Barney does appear in the show still.
If we haven't had an argument.
We hope that coming out. Oh. We hope that coming out to end the show.
Oh, we're still talking, so.
Oh, sorry, son.
You've heard us arguing, haven't you, Scott? You've heard us shouting at each other.
I have, yeah. Only briefly. That's in 2 floors below. So bloody there, can you hear it? In the old basement, on the 3rd floor, arguing about Christmas fixtures, and I'm downstairs in the basement sorting out the metal. I'm going to say that, yeah. Mark, get over now! No! Put the bloody crackers there!
Who took them out of the boxing?
Put the cards over here!
Oh, joy.
That's old G. Barney. Yeah,
Next
she's Barney,
show.
not Barney.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the month again.
Not your period, girls. The end of the Wingman Show. I know you'll be sorry to miss us for 3 weeks, but
Tear in the eye.
tear on the old beer jar. Thought that's a bit funny.
Mix it up.
So Mark, what have we learned in this month's show? Go on, tell them.
That Pisshead Posy is quite a lad, and that he likes to drink and do a poo in the streets a lot. What did you learn from that?
Also learnt that Mrs. Brown got on the old number 20 bus from Holbridge to Southend. Forget Ireland, she's in the Essex vicinity. What else might I tell us?
Well, you know, that the Beatles went to a fairground and they just got to let it be.
And they've got to have a ticket to ride it, yeah.
Yeah, you have
It's
to.
only on 8 days a week.
No, there's only 7 in.
Yeah, so fancy with the Beatles, isn't it? Fab 4. So from the Fab 4 to the Fab 2.
See you next time.
See you in 3 weeks' time. That's the
Oh, and by the way, leave comments. Barney will be here next month.
Don't forget the website, facebook.com/The Wingman Show.
Yeah.
So like that, share us all about, mix up a bit. So until next time, be safe. Make sure you wrap it
Don't
up.
be sorry.
Yeah, that's why you got to wrap it up. You know the kidney ends. Don't have multiply, do we? So another bad joke to end the show. Until next time.
Or
Ta-ra.
to come.